So I'm going to speak next about universities of sanctuary, and I'm going to share my screen. Okay, hopefully you can all see that. Is that okay? Can somebody indicate you can see?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So what I want to do is talk a little bit about University of Sanctuary origins, very briefly, and then talk about the universities that have become universities of sanctuary and what they do, you know, importantly, that offering scholarships, but what else they do in addition to that. And we look then at other initiatives. So the notion of sanctuary is this idea that you can seek safety from maybe from danger or from persecution, or you know, it's a space, a safe space that you can go to. If you are somebody who is a forced migrant and you've arrived somewhere, and you may have a lot of messages that are in the public sphere that are saying, you know, migrants go home, there's no place for you here. And we've seen a lot of that in media, in social media and in the news, etc. So an initiative was started in Sheffield in the UK back in 2005, where a group of people said, we would like to be able to show people that we welcome them to our city, and we want to create a space of safety and create a culture of hospitality and welcome for them. And this idea spread quite quickly, and a number of cities in the UK became cities of sanctuary. And as well as cities, then you had other bodies, groups, spaces that became places of sanctuary. So for example, in addition to the cities, we had the universities, which I will talk about. You have schools of sanctuary, churches, politics and sanctuary, gardens of sanctuary, arts, health, libraries, and that is not the full list. So we can see that University of Sanctuary sits within a wider network of places of welcome for people who are in the protection system or those who have refugee status. And Tiffy Allen is can be credited largely for bringing the concept to Ireland from the UK, and she has put together a lot of the stories of these types of welcome in a book that was published, is it last year, 2 years ago now, I can't remember, 100,000 Welcomes, the story of City of Sanctuary. So if we talk about education specifically, and we say universities want to offer that space of welcome, we can look first of all at figures here for refugees in education. If you see on the left, and I've taken this infographic from the UNHCR, where they say that at primary school level, children who are seeking asylum, they have 77% opportunity to attend primary school. And that is because in most cases, compulsory education is available to all children, no matter their status. Earlier, Charlotte talked about undocumented, you know, we talked about travellers, talked about a range of disadvantaged minority groups, but they all have the ability to attend primary school, and the states should provide that for them. At secondary level, we can see that that number has fallen off largely, down to 31%. And there you'll have people who might start secondary school but will leave after a certain period of time, or their schooling may be interrupted if they're traveling, or the supports simply aren't in place. And then when we come to higher education, we can see it's reduced even further down to 3%, which is minuscule. And as we know, education is a public good which enhances everybody's life chances. It's a basic human right. And I mentioned at primary level in particular, but also it, you know, universities and those who are looking after education within a country are expected to support people with refugee status in as much as is possible. So education, we can see it empowers people, it protects people as well from, for example, children who might end up becoming child brides or who might end up becoming child soldiers. If they're enrolled in education, it can act in a protective way for them when they're very young. Okay. I want to look now at universities of sanctuary in Ireland. In 2016, DCU became the first university to achieve the status. And you can see in this photo here, here's Tiffy, who was bestowing the accolade on the university. That's a colleague, Agnès Maillot. At the time, president of DCU, Brian McGrath, who championed the Sanctuary Initiative, and Philip McKinley, who was a prime mover in DCU becoming a member of, to become a University of Sanctuary. And it's a huge, if somebody is seeking asylum and they get a place, you know, they're obviously thrilled for that, but just want to show that the universities as well are equally delighted when students arrive. It's a big thing for the universities. You can see smiles on everybody's faces when they have their plaques here. Maynooth has been offered Philip Berman, who's the chairperson of Places of Sanctuary Ireland, offering it there. You have here in UCC, you know, the scholars, they have their refugee week. They have a dedicated site which is quite active, looking at sanctuary offerings. And here Galway, and you can see the whole community coming out to support the designation of sanctuary. So it is a big deal for the universities, and I'm delighted to say that as of now, of the 9 universities in Ireland, 7 of them have the designation. So if we turn now to where to find information about them, there is a website called Under Places of Sanctuary Ireland, and we will be displaying a slide at the very end of our presentations which will show what's available. I've just realized I'm not, I think I'm not recording. Oh no, I am recording, it's okay. Oops, go back again. It's not letting me go back. Oh yeah, here it is. So you can see the range of universities, and if you click into them, they will bring you to their websites where you can get further information. I'm kind of duplicating in a way the information that Charlotte gave earlier. So when we talk about what it means to be a University of Sanctuary, it is based on 3 key principles that are shared by not just the universities, but the cities, the schools, any of the places that subscribe to Sanctuary. You know, they engage in these 3 principles: learn, embed, and share. So the first one, learn, means what does it mean to seek sanctuary? So for colleagues who are lecturing, who are doing research, it's finding out what it means to seek sanctuary, looking at the refugee journey. It's then in turn training staff, teaching students about it, holding events to raise awareness of what it means. And this is an image here from, we had an Asylum Narratives Conference in DCU back in 2017, bringing together colleagues from different universities and talking about what it means to seek sanctuary. Okay, the second one is taking positive action. So this entails embedding sustainable concepts of welcome, safety and inclusion within the institution and the wider community. So what actions are included? So first and foremost, that the university would have a strategic plan, you know, for 5 years, and that enshrined within that is a commitment to sanctuary. that they offer scholarships, and for any university that is seeking to become a university sanctuary, they must, as a prerequisite, be able to offer scholarships. But there's a lot more that's involved, because when you are creating a culture of welcome, it involves integration of refugees and protection applicants into the community. So we have a range of projects. Some may have heard of the MELI project run by DCU. That's an example. And universities tend by and large to have a refugee week, and that's where the student body steps up and they initiate a range of activities, a lot of them fundraisers to support those in direct provision and so on. And the final principle to share, it means that to go out and to talk to others about what it means to be a university sanctuary, what that entails for those seeking sanctuary. It's looking at the vision, it's celebrating achievements, and also what we have learned along the way. So here is an image in DCU. I'm there with a colleague, Julie Daniel, who runs the MELI project, and we're talking about, we're launching the University of Sanctuary annual report. So, and here's a quote from one of our sanctuary scholars who's doing an online program, and his name is Shepherd, and he talks about being able to study with DCU Connected through the University of Sanctuary has completely changed me. I'm a totally different person now that I wake up every day knowing I have something to do. It has given me purpose. So this is how it can, having the opportunity to study in university can help transform lives. And as we signaled earlier, one of our current students, Samantha Nakube, has kindly agreed to talk about her experience of being a sanctuary student. Through the UNHCR, there has been a bid to move that figure of the 3% to improve access to higher education. And there is a challenge that by 2030, to help ensure that 15% of refugees have access to tertiary learning. And the UNHCR says it's an ambitious target, but we know how to achieve it. So we've done our latest tally in Ireland of the universities that have the designation. And since we started the scholarship program in 2017, so in the last 3 years, we have been able to offer 389 scholarships, be they for access programs, for diplomas, for undergraduate degrees, for postgrad. Across the sanctuary network, we have achieved this to date, and the numbers are continuing to grow. So it's a good place, but we can, there more can be done. And I haven't captured in that the wonderful scholarship opportunities being offered by the Institutes of Technology that Charlotte mentioned earlier. But I think that if we look at what the universities of Sanctuary have done, and we can say we are proud of that, there has been a new initiative led by the government, which has been a game changer. And our current programme for government is, we were delighted to see, acknowledges universities of Sanctuary. In page 117 of their quite lengthy document, they talk about recognising the vital work of Universities of Sanctuary project, and that the government commits that the state will further increase the supports for people in direct provision to access third level education. And they've moved quite quickly on that. This document was produced earlier this year, was it in the summer? I've lost track of the time. But since then, we've had a government initiative, which, as I said, is a game changer in the scene, the Student Support Scheme for Asylum Seekers. And as Brendan Dolan is going to speak about that later on, I won't say any more. So just to finish, to review, I talked about Sanctuary being an initiative to create a culture of welcome for those who have come to Ireland, who are seeking sanctuary here, who are seeking asylum, who have maybe status and who are looking to integrate into their communities. We've looked at education being a public good. It's something that will enhance people's capabilities to lead a life of value and a life of flourishing. We've seen that the Universities of Sanctuary Network is creating an impact in the number of scholarships that they have been able to offer to date, but importantly, the government has stepped in now to increase that. So what we can say is things are moving in the right direction and moving in the direction that the UNHCR is looking for.